Hi there. Well, I hope your quarantine's been going well and that the isolation hasn't driven you to drink any household cleaners. Uh, I've been here by myself for the past 4 weeks, isolated in my own apartment by myself. And other than going out to pick up a few items at the store every maybe 2, 3 days, it's been going well. I just want to share with you an email that I received from a news editor at a very well known employment site who want to find out my opinion about adapting in this era of social distancing. As you all know, the coronavirus has caused major health and economic problems for people across all industries, almost all industries, really. More importantly, it's affected the bars and restaurants and the overall hospitality industry. Um, he spoke to a restaurant manager who says that it seems from what he's heard from anyone in the hospitality industry that a lot of us are struggling with anxiety and a sense of being useful facing this pandemic. Okay. He goes on to say, "We love to cater to guests, and the lack of work has made this impossible to achieve." So, okay, if you're running a restaurant, you really shouldn't be open. I mean, your front of house staff is not there. Okay, you only have back of house staff. So, if anything, the only struggle would be just like being able to, I guess, like keep your orders, maintaining your orders, like making sure that you're able to actually pay for, you're able to like keep the business running so that way you can take care of the overhead. That's like one main struggle that you should they I think he would have to worry about. But the manager added that establishing daily routines and finding ways to make use of time during this pandemic has been a key challenge for him. Well, honestly, there are daily routines that, of course, you have to deal with, especially right now. But I mean, it's not as much as when, say, before this happened, with because you don't have guests dining in. Okay, they're coming to pick up the orders. So the news reporter went on to ask, have you been able to establish any new routines? Is there any new way you've made use of your time? And how difficult has it been to adjust to life outside of work? Well, to be honest, I don't have work. I haven't been working. I've been at home because I was told by my employer that it'd be too risky for me to work there because, of course, the contact with people. So they didn't want to risk that. So I've been at home for the past 4 weeks. My other position, I work part time. Working as a bartender on Broadway. Pretty much, it just evaporated. Poof, gone. So I have a daily routine in which I get up, take a shower, or brush my teeth. I sit up and I go through my emails and make myself something to eat and take care of whatever needs to be done household wise, cleaning, laundry, whatever, what have you. There's things that need to be done. But that whole new way I made use of my time is that really, if anything, since I'm not working, I pretty much have more time to concentrate on creative efforts because I'm a creative professional. So when I'm, not up here, like sit up here making videos, like this one, responding to the coronavirus pandemic, I'm actually working on projects, design projects and whatnot. I didn't like the way this news editor went about it because, if anything, he makes it seem as though American workers are not productive. When they don't have a job, they're not productive. To be honest, that is a false narrative. Absolutely false. A good deal of people who work jobs probably work 2 or 3 jobs, or they have households that they have to take care of people, raise families and whatnot, take care of elderly, sick people, what have you. They have to do things. But this idea of that, we are our jobs is it's so, it's such BS. I hate it. I really hate it. The average American worker gets about 2, maybe 3 weeks of vacation time if they work a full time job year round. Other countries that have socialized they have socialized, like, you know, incomes, they pretty much make it so that way the average worker gets a month or more. Okay. We don't get that. And if anything, I'll be honest and say that Americans have been overproductive. We've been working 2, 3 jobs just to supplement income because the cost of living has gone up significantly, especially in certain places like New York, or say like you know Chicago, or San Francisco. I mean, all these major cities, including, well, some smaller, quite a few smaller majors, smaller cities as well. But you know, this idea of that we're not being productive, that we, without a job, we're nothing. It's just like, this is just BS. I mean, if anything, I'll be honest and say that the fact that this pandemic has occurred has actually shown that there's cracks in the system. If anything, it showed that we don't have a social safety net. Okay, we don't have adequate health care for those who are not only just working, the ones that can't work because of some existing ailment. Okay, even more so the fact that someone's sitting up here saying that people who are not working are not productive. If anything, you just sit up here and make it seem as though we're nothing if we're not just slaving away at our jobs, Like, if anything, the anxiety is not coming from not being able to do something, because there's lots of things I can be doing, okay, besides, like, pouring people drinks for, like, say like $7, $10 an hour, and then tips. Okay, there's more important things. There's things that I want to do that enrich my life, enrich my soul, like creating, videos like this, or designing things. That's something I want to do. If anything, it's just the fact that there's more of the work-life balance has changed, and I think if anything, that's the whole entire thing that they're forgetting, is the fact that people are not stopping and spending time in the moment. They're not spending time with families. They weren't able to because they were working so much. And then on top of it, I wouldn't doubt that them working so much so often, it was a detriment to their health because they're not taking care of themselves. So self-care is really more important, because if anything, if you don't take care of yourself, how are you going to actually continue doing a job? You wind up getting this virus, because you haven't been getting enough sleep, and then next thing you know, you're out of work for 14 days, or even worse, you're stuck in a hospital. I mean, people can't deal with that. So I think, really, honestly, I'm going to have to just respond to this news editor and let him know that I think what you're creating is something of a false narrative, that you're making it seem as though people aren't productive outside of a job. Outside of their jobs, they don't do anything. They just sit around. They don't, find things. There's plenty of things that they have to do. Lots of things. I couldn't get, like, just simple, like, drawings done because I was too tired from just working. I come home after a full, say like 8 hour, or maybe like, say, if I work in my part-time job, 14-hour day. The last thing I want to do is pick up a pencil to draw anything, or to be, able to, like, type or do anything. I mean, really, if anything, I really think that Americans have been overproductive. And if anything, this pandemic has made us stop and really live in the moment and realize that we're much more than just the jobs that we hold, the things that we do. Okay? That's my 10 cents.